Hi everyone, Christina Danforth here from HR Jetpack, and what I'd like to do is show you how to submit your recertification credits in order to keep your PHR or SPHR after you have passed your exam. Now, first and foremost, I recommend setting a quarterly reminder to continually enter your credits as you earn them, trying to enter them all in right before submitting your application at the end of your renewal cycle can be pretty daunting. So I recommend setting that reminder. Now, some folks will log in right after they've completed an activity and enter it as soon as they get the program ID or as soon as they're done with the HR related activity. So let's go to hrci.org and log in. Now, the first thing I want to point out to you is ways to recertify. So you're going to notice right at the very top, the system tells you that after completing a minimum of 60 HR-related recertification activities, you can submit your application. So let's take a moment to look at what is meant by HR-related. Essentially, there are 3 questions here, and you need to answer yes to these questions. Can you connect the activity to one of the responsibility or knowledge statements found in the HRCI exam content outline? Next, will the activity add to my knowledge of the HR profession? And finally, does the activity focus on my professional development rather than my personal development? So they really want you to make this distinction between the HR profession, whatever activity that is, and of course, any other kind of development that we might pursue. For example, time management or project management, or maybe it's something even more personal like gardening or some other kind of hobby that we really enjoy. And of course, any of those kinds of activities would not qualify for a recertification credit. So it has to be HR related. So this is very, very important to remember to ensure that you meet that requirement. Now, if you work with a pre-approved provider like HR Jetpack, rest assured that all of the activities you complete with an organization like us are certainly HR related. Now, one more reminder for you, if you earn all 60 of your credits, you can do that through education, including online learning, such as attending webinars and completing any kind of online coursework. You'll notice over here on the left-hand side of the screen a pre-approved activity search and also a method to calculate your recertification credits, both very useful resources. Now let's go back up to My HRCI and go to My Application. It takes about a moment to load. And so you'll notice that your account populates, and of course there's a number of different selections here, all ranging from your exam applications to updating your profile. But what we're going to focus on today is how to add my recertification credits. So we'll select that button, and of course again it takes a moment to load and bring up your current recertification application. So you'll notice that over here on the left-hand side is a list of your certifications. Now, I know many of you out there may have more than one HRCI certification. So in addition to that, you'll notice that the cycle start date and the cycle end date is listed as well. Very, very important to pay attention to both of those dates. Now, over here on the right-hand side, you'll notice that there is a really nice summary chart showing you the credit type, hours that are required, along with the hours submitted and approved. Now I'm going to scroll down here just for a moment to actually show you how to add an activity, and I'm going to come back to a couple of other features. I want to bring your attention to the Add Activities button. Now we're going to enter a pre-approved activity, one in fact that I just hosted for HR Jetpack. And we'll select Continue. And of course, the system right now is searching for that particular activity because it's already been entered and approved for one recertification credit. And you'll notice that all the information about this activity is pre-populated except the date. Now, I hosted this event back in February. Now I'm going to scroll down here to another required element of the submission, which is to check off that I certify that I attended, hosted, or presented at the activity described above, and then I'll simply click Add Activity. And again, it takes the system a moment to load. Aha, there we are. So you'll notice that the system acknowledged the activity that I entered back in February and has listed all the information that we were just looking at. And of course, if you ever need to edit the activity or you need to delete it, it's super easy to do that with these two selections right here over on the right-hand side. Now, for one more moment here, I just want to bring your attention to two other items. First and foremost, this particular graph here summarizing your current recertification hours. Now, you'll notice for the SPHR, as many of you know, you need 15 credits or 15 hours. 1 credit equals 1 hour in order to recertify. So that has been separated here to show how many business activity hours you have, along with how many general activity hours that you have. So of course your goal is to ensure that you get 15 on one side and 45 on the other. Now let's scroll back up here to the final piece that I would like to bring your attention to. It's very important to note that this particular button here, Submit Recertification Application, will not be available. I cannot select this until the required credit hours are met on or after 1 year following your cycle start date. That's because you could not submit your application within 1 year of your cycle start date. So very important to remember that you cannot go through with this application process until after a year of already having earned all of those credits and already having held the actual certification. Now, I encourage you to access the HRCI Recertification Handbook. It is another great resource for understanding and implementing this entire process, and of course digs into all of those details. So best of luck to all of you, and feel free to contact me with any questions you may have about HR recertification.